Hello everyone, it's Leo, and I know I'm a little late, but it's finally time for us to talk about the amazing episode 26 from TWINKLE PRECURE. When I saw this episode, when I saw what it was about, I thought it was going to be a little bit on the fillerish side with not much happening, and I don't think I was actually wrong. There wasn't much happening on this episode, but at the same time, the plot moved forward a little bit, and we had a lot of amazing and so many heartwarming moments. I just don't even know what to say because, I was really impressed. I was not expecting this type of episode when I watched this. And, everything was incredible. So, the first thing is that I was very curious to see how the girls would leave where they were to go to Saman, and they would stay a long period of time there without their parents or their families noticing. And they addressed it right at the start of this episode that Abraham, the alien director, decided to give them a little hand and help them get into Saman. It was a very nice touch, I think. And he used his influence and everything to help them and talk to their families about them leaving, and they were going to shoot, and so their families all agreed. And so they went on to go to Saman because they needed to go there because Lala's brother appeared for the first time. Not really appeared, but she talked about him for the first time. And there's a lot of mystery surrounding Lala's family and Lolo, who's Lala's twin brother. There's a lot of mystery around that and everything. We don't really know who he is, but in this episode, we got to know that she has an actual twin brother, and her parents are very important in Saman, so I don't know. And at the same time, Lala seemed very distressed about going to Saman. She wanted to go by herself, but the girls all wanted to go with her. And when the episode progressed, we had that scene of Hikaru not being able to sleep together with Fuwa. They were all very excited about going to Saman. That's such a Hikaru thing. And then we had the pajama scene. The girls all wanted to sleep. Hikaru needed to sleep because Fuwa went to sleep. And then she didn't want to sleep because she wanted to spend time with girls. And then so they ended up throwing a pajama party. And then they started watching a movie. That scene was very cute because it was interesting to see how each girl reacted to the movie. Uni was so bored, she simply slept. Elena was scared, and Nobles T actually did a very interesting post on Twitter about that because they always use those kind of things on characters like Elena, like Mao and Elena. They always have this trait of being scared of something that's not really scary, just to give them something different and to break the mode on them a little bit. And Elena felt right down into this idea that they gave Mao in Smile Puricua. And so Elena was very scared. Hikaru loved it, obviously. Madoka loved the aesthetic and the poor visuals of the movie. She thought that was incredible. And Lala was extremely critical. So we had 4 very different views. 5 if we count Uni leaving and sleeping. We had those very different views concerning the movie. And the movie itself, it was so funny when Uni woke up and she was able to see Madoka and Hikaru shooting the monster as the characters of the movie, because those were the two that were actually enjoying the movie. And so after that scene, we had a moment in which the girls were able to share a little bit more of themselves when it came to their personalities and what's really going on with them. And that's an interesting take, a very interesting one, by the way, because we haven't had a moment in TWINKLE since the start of the season for the girls to actually look back into what's been going on with them and have a moment for themselves. Because at least Madoka and Elena, they are very their lives were already full before becoming cures. Hikaru spent a lot of time with her hobbies, and Lala was very responsible in her planet. So when they became cures, everything changed. And then by traveling so far and going to spend some time away from home, they were able to have a moment for themselves and to actually think about leaving home for a while. That was a very impactful thing for Madoka, that because she has so many different occupations, and even in summer break, I mean, she's not having classes right now, at least in Japan they're not. So for her, she couldn't leave because she has so many obligations. But at the same time, she took that time for her. She was able to leave, and she was able to reflect on leaving things behind, because that's definitely not easy. And then she looked back into what was going on in her life, and her father told her that's a very harsh thing for you to say to a teenager, because like he always said, the Madoka family always protected demons, protected princesses, fought wars. We are destined to big things. So the Kaguya family is a big thing. It's a big name. It's a heavy cross for you to carry. But you have to carry it no matter what. And so by traveling, you're going to get more experience, and then it's going to help you when you're going to travel abroad. And that's an indication to probably to things that are probably going to happen to Madoka at the end of the season. And that's a logical thing for her. And at the same time, it's going to be very emotional to see her leaving the team, leaving the group, because like Madoka, she was always surrounded by people, but she must have been feeling pretty lonely. And so by meeting the girls and having this time with them, it probably changed her a lot. And then we had Elena. Elena, on the other hand, her time is not full with things that she does at school or lessons she takes. No, she takes care of her family. So she has to take care of the store, she has to take care of her siblings, and her father and mother are not always around. So she is like a center to her family as well. She's one of the pillars of her family. And by leaving her family behind, it's very hard for her, because she feels like she's putting a burden into her dad and mom. And it was very interesting to see her mom saying, no, you have to go. I'm going to book everything again. I'm going to cancel meetings and reschedule other ones so that you can go, so that you have this moment for yourself. Because it's a logical thing for a mom to think about, because it's also a heavy burden for Elena, even though she seems to be taking it very lightly. It's all part of her personality and part of who she is, and she takes this responsibility in an easy way. She still needs a moment for herself. And so by leaving that behind and being able to focus on everything, it's also hard for her. And she even said, I kept on taking care of my siblings until the last time. And one other thing to notice, she was the last one to get to the rocket for the girls to travel. And then we had a moment with Hikaru. We had a Lala moment, but she wasn't really open to talk about things. And we also had a Hikaru moment that was very cute as well, because Hikaru didn't really have friends. She didn't really have people that she wanted to share things with, probably because people shamed her because of the things she likes. And then by meeting the girls and everything, she feels like she has a safe space for her to share the things she likes, and for her to share the things she wants and she loves so passionately. And so this moment of bonding, it was incredible. Uni wasn't really feeling it, and it was not because she was sad, but it's just part of who she is. It's part of her personality. And so the episode progressed with that new creature, Yan Yan. Like, Yan Yan appearing was such a nice thing, because I loved Hikaru's face, like when she saw the creature, and Lala was like, what are you doing here? What are your intentions and everything? She was very aware of that creature. But Hikaru being an alien, the creature being an alien, Hikaru was feeling it. And then the creature was very funny, it was very cute, but Kapard attacked the rocket, and by attacking the rocket, the girls had to fight in space for the first time. They were having a little trouble, but they were able to maneuver with the power of friendship and with this new formed bond between the Star Twinkle girls. I think that the fight itself, it had a nice idea. Those moments between Star and Milky were really great, But like, we had a moment for each girl using her powers, but we could have had a little bit more with the other girls, not only Star and Milky. But I was thankful because this fight was a little different than the other ones before. And so, like, they had a little different idea. And it was nice, and it was very colorful. Like, them fighting in space became very colorful. But it wasn't really the first time they fought in space. Like, Hikaru fought in space in the first episode, and now it's a different way of fighting in space. I think they were in a different scenario, like a different place in space. I don't know. I don't think they actually thought this through. But they were able to win at the end. Capard left. And a very important thing is that we're seeing the villain more. We're seeing the villain more, so things are heating up. And then at the end of the episode, the creature promised to help to fix the rocket because our rocket is broken now. And poor Prudence, you're always the one to take the short end of the stick. I'm so sorry for you, but you're amazing anyways. And those scenes are also amazing. I'm sorry, we love seeing you in those situations. I'm sorry, Prudence. But another thing to comment, the opening finally changed. We have a revamped opening. And I'm going to be honest, I think that this is probably the best revamped opening we've had in the Precure history. Like, they were really able to include Uni, Cure Cosmo in it in a beautiful way. It was really nice. And then we also had, what's her name? Iwon. Iwon is changed now. She's very different. She's using a raincoat. She's probably feeling depressed because this is a very clear visual representation of depressed people in media. Like, if you're wearing a raincoat, you're probably a sad person. You know, you're in the rain, like letting the rain fall over you. This is a very clear representation of people that are feeling down. Maybe not really depressed, but people that are feeling down. So I believe this means we're going to get a redemption arc for Iwon. I really believe something like that will happen because they didn't put that for nothing. And we're going to see Iwon next episode, by the way, in which the girls are going to transform into mermaids. So probably things are going to start to change a little bit concerning Iwon. And I'm very curious to see that. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment with your opinions. Let's keep on talking about this episode in the comment box below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time. Bye-bye.